Here we go.
You want to be like? Sensitivity equals fucking poverty.
Insensitive Culture, the podcast. Check it out, homie.
Guys, welcome to episode 216 of Insensitive Culture. As always, you know me.
What's up, what?
You know my guy on the other end.
And that fool blazer, Ramon.
Man, you know who ain't here again? Hey, but he'll be here next time because we are
Insensitive Culture, the podcast. Make sure you check it out, homie.
Victory!
Is Jonni having another kid? Is that why he couldn't be present today?
Yes, so
number 3.
Yeah, it was, it was a surprise to everyone, including him. So
Just one of those ones that falls out in the bathroom and you're like, oh shit, I was pregnant all that time, son of a bitch. That happens way too frequently, bro. I can't understand it.
I don't understand. Usually
Usually she's a big girl.
Obviously,
she's a big girl already. So
yes.
But
Before
still.
we get into that part, we were joking. Jonni is not.
No.
No. So, much love to the Malave family. Love y'all. Let's see. Yeah, usually it's a big girl, and she's like big to the point where obviously she didn't notice that there was a life growing in her.
And it's always in the most random bathroom. It's like they were at an A&W burger and fetus just fell out. She's like, oh my God, like, what do you even do? What do you call? Do you get the janitor? Like, who's cleaning that up?
I thought I had the hiccups.
So many questions.
I thought I had the hiccups and the baby came out. Why did I give it that accent?
Brutal. Yeah, that was like a southern. I can see that, though. That tracks.
He said, I could see that.
I went with it because it seems so natural. It's like, yeah, that's like the interviews that I've heard. I'm pretty sure that was verbatim.
That's exactly where that happens. Sorry to our down south listeners, but
sorry to our Arkansas listener.
Oh man, the one guy in Arkansas.
Not anymore.
Nope. Bro. What's good, man? How's life been for you, brother?
I'm kind of craving A&W burger now.
Yeah, I've never had it, and I want it bad.
And I do have some indigestion. Maybe I'll leave with a kid. Life's been all right. I'm not. No complaints. Nice weather. Yeah, just work. That Cali traffic blows.
Yeah.
Excited to just vent our bullshit like we normally do.
Like we always
great outlet
do. Yeah. Yeah, I feel you, man. This we can have one listener, we can have a million listeners. It's a good it's just a good time for us to let out our thoughts and do all
good
our
content
things
to discuss too, like being
Absolutely.
Released, streaming and whatnot, different shows, too much to keep up with, and more upcoming, which I'm sure we'll touch on a little bit later.
Sure. Let's see, I'll put a little pin in that. Anyway, yeah, man, I'm not gonna lie, man. Shit has been it's been a little weird lately, ups, downs, and especially after what happened to my brother Jerry Macho, and some days are good, some days are not as much. Yeah,
right.
just it's still very much doesn't feel real, and for the most part, I'm usually just like you get into the motions of just life, and I have kids to raise, and my siblings and I are all talking more. We're FaceTiming often, meeting up once a week. At least we've been trying to.
Nice.
Which is all good. it's all something that's great that came from it all. But at the same time, it's just like, man, he's not, he would love that. He's not partaking in it, obviously, and every now and again, I just think of him, and then it's like, fuck, you know what I mean? Like that same feeling just
washes
hits you
over
again, yeah, and then you just like, I don't know, just kind of quiet up and shit, and it happens to me randomly.
It's when you have a downtime from that life madness. It's those little moments where it just pops in. Yeah,
and it's been just and it's just been random. It's not like I don't know. It's just been one of those things. So that I've been going through that lately. So it's tough to get into a zone of making. Other than us meeting up, those once a week to talk and stuff, it's hard to get back into the zone of creating content, and editing and just like getting in a
normalcy.
Yeah, and just a mindset of, like I just like doing something, getting lost in it. Just tend to get lost in whatever, scrolling, or sometimes I just fucking sit there and quiet when I don't have like anything to do with the kids and shit, but the kids keep me pretty busy. But anyway, that's pretty much what's been going on.
All right.
Yeah. So, and I can't front on it,
Word. And you don't
Sorry,
have to.
that's not that's not the most the best way to start this podcast, but you know what? That's how I'm feeling.
That's real, son. We don't want you feeding us no bullshit. Let us know what's up.
Word. But we can shift it though, and we can get into some somewhat decent content here. Hit us off with some questions, bro. Let's get the icebreakers going.
All right, so first question, and this sort of just goes off the assumption that we both didn't grow up with, a lot of money. We got what we needed. We survived. We had some cool shit from time to time, but by no means wealthy or rich. Is there like a life habit or a habit of any sort that you kind of still do from, when you were young? Something like I don't want to call it a poorest habit, but, something maybe thrifty or frugal that you had to do sort of to get by when you were young. And maybe now you don't have to, but you just, you still fuck with it because you're still kind of in that mindset a little bit,
Yeah, for me, it's been, I can't stand when people just waste like food, like when they're just like being wasteful. And that obviously comes from, we don't have a lot.
So what you get, you better fucking eat, use.
Yeah, well,
sure
I try not to do that as much like with the kids because I've come to an understanding, at least, Jillian and I have talked about it, and she made a lot of sense because at first I was like that. It's like, yo, if you ask for something, you gotta eat it. Like, don't waste food,
right?
Like that shit is not cheap, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
But she made a lot of sense with the fact that if the, teach them that if they're full, they're not obligated to eat it, because I don't want my kids growing up the way I did, because my mom still gets upset with them and
if they don't finish something.
She starts talking shit if they don't finish their food, and I try to tell her, I'm like, yo, mom, like, just leave it, like, whatever, because I don't want them to overeat and then develop that habit, and then fucking become obese or overweight or struggle with weight,
eating disorder,
eating disorders, like all kind of shit that comes from that. And that made a lot of sense to me, so I don't do that to the kids. But I will tell, like my son, sometimes he likes to ask for more food than he's probably, gonna eat, and I already know him, so it's like bro, you don't need all that.
You put less food on your shit so that you can just crush whatever's left that he didn't eat.
Pretty much, yeah. I do that sometimes, or I just don't I don't serve myself food. I did that the other day. Like we went, I forgot where it was that we went, but I know Violet definitely. She eats like a little bird. She eats like 1 or 2 bites and then she's good. Oh yeah. We went to a picnic. I didn't serve myself anything, and I still ended up eating a bag of chips and three quarters of a hot dog. So because that was Violet. But like Xander will go somewhere. And he is a growing boy. Like he had a crazy growth spurt recently, and during those growth spurts, he'll be eating like crazy, bro.
Gotta grow, son.
Yeah. So I forgot where we went. We went to another event, and I'm like, yo, like, what do you guys want to eat? Well, I want 2 hot dogs and a slice of pizza.
Damn.
Yeah. I'm like, yo, all right, hold up. I'll get you the 2 hot dogs because I know he's good for 2 hot dogs. He loves hot dogs. He's good for that.
Like Sonic.
Let's hold off on the pizza. If you're still hungry and you feel like you still want that, then I got you. Like we'll get you the pizza. Of course he didn't want the he was full after 2. But they're like yeah, that's pretty much it.
That's how you gotta play that, dude.
It irks me. It irks me when people do way more than they have to. Like if you're gonna eat 2 eggs, but let's say but boil 10 or something like that. Like what the fuck is the point of that? You just wasted all of that for what?
That's definitely old school. That's how my grandparents were, and my parents for that. I remember sitting at the table crying a lot of nights because I didn't want to. I couldn't finish my food. Or I didn't want to finish my food. My dad would try to be like, "Oh, you want a candy bar?" And I'd be like, "Yeah." And he'd be like, "Finish your food." Yeah, it's harsh.
Yeah.
No, that's a good one though. I feel that. The one thing that I still do, and it's sort of in that same vein of like food wasting.
Sure.
But it's really just wasting anything in general. Like if there's some shampoo left in the bottom of the bottle or something, I'm going to shake that bitch up with water, get every motherfucking drop out of that bitch, and just, make sure I get all that. Barbecue sauces, hot sauces, dude. I'm always just trying to, out of habit. And that was just something I remember doing as a kid. Having my mom would come in, I'd be like, "There's no more shampoo," and she'd be like, "Yes, there is," and she'd run into and I'd watch her like mix it up, and I was like, "Oh damn, okay, that's how you get it off, no doubt." And then like you would use it and it would still fucking foam up, and it was all good, lathered up perfect. And I was like, "Damn, all right, no doubt."
I do that with the soap. I'm not putting any water and ketchup though.
No, I won't water ketchup, but I'll leave that bitch in the fridge upside down, so the next time I go to use it, it just I'll squirt the rest out. Yeah, no, you can't.
Oh, I'm leaving that bitch upside down. You do the fucking forceful shake, make sure all of it hits the bottom. Pop.
Do you remember how tough the glass bottles were of ketchup, bro? Like in diners and shit.
Yeah, that was the worst. Why the fuck did they?
How much ketchup did they? They probably watered that shit down. It's gross.
Yeah, that shit was rough. That was rough to get the fuck out of there. I don't even. I'm glad whoever invented the plastic squeeze bottle. It's upside down so that everything just pulls to the end that's gonna come out fucking genius.
And I just like to get my money out of things. For instance, we have a big plastic bin that we pour Cliff's dog food in. It holds all of it so we can just scoop it out when he eats. And we got this new food that he's been eating that was more expensive, but the actual food bag itself has a Velcro top. So it's resealable. And Ash was like, "Oh, you're going to pour that in the in the bin? I was like, fuck no. I was like, we paid extra money. We got this Velcro on here. We're going to leave it in the bag and just open and close the fucking Velcro all the time. Make sure we get our fucking money's worth out of this dog food. But just little, stupid shit like that where I'm... with my clothes, too. I won't buy myself clothes unless... Like, I absolutely have to. Like, I hate spending money on really anything for myself. I'll buy something every now and then, I like my PS5 or something like that. Something necessities, basically. But, like, sure. I really hate buying myself anything for the most part.
Yeah, that's something I like buying myself shit.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. It's nice to shop. Like when you got money or you got like a gift card or something and you just know that it's like, that's not coming out of your account. It's just, that's you got on the card or something. Mm-hmm. That's what's up. But still, I just hate. I feel like I'm wasting money.
I know what you're saying. I do get my money's worth out of shit though. I feel you on that. Like sneakers. Like people will say, how can you spend X amount of money on your sneakers, right? But I mean, nowadays it's not crazy to think of $200 for a pair of sneakers, right? Now they're closer to $250, for name brand sneakers are anywhere between $200 and $250. Mm-hmm. But and when I was a quote unquote sneakerhead, right? I was like collecting sneakers. Like a lot of those sneakers I still have and I still wear, bro. And I've had them for more than 10 years. I have a pair of Jordans that I still throw on. If I haven't thrown them on, it's because they're in a box in my storage right now. But I was wearing them up until they went into that fucking box. And that pair, I remember standing in line in 2010. To get them, and I still have them, and they have a little like it's coming apart on the side a little bit because they're so fucking old. But I have a bunch of sneakers that are about that are reaching that 10-year mark.
You see this Sunnyvale t-shirt, mm-hmm. This random bullshit Sunnyvale t-shirt that I have. You've probably seen me wearing it before. I bought it at a Walgreens in California in 2016. And I just will not let it go. A t-shirt from Walgreens. And I'm like, no, it's not going anywhere. Not till it's fucking rags.
Yeah, the only reason why I let go of a lot of my clothes is because I run them down. Like if once they get all crazy and shit, I gotta toss it. But also the weight changes. I fluctuated in weight so fucking much, bro.
Word. I could see that. That's a good reason to have to buy yourself new shit at that point.
Yeah. I just I guess it's a good thing. Oh, well, it's not I guess, but it is a good thing. But like today I had to pop a hole in my fucking belt cuz my pants were just falling too much.
Nice.
So I had to add a hole to my fucking belt. So yeah.
What do you use? That's always good. Tough. Like I would dig like with a knife in there. Like, you try and poke like a little hole, but then the fucking thing like barely goes through, and you really gotta use that hole for a minute.
Yeah, but I had my coworker. He has a Swiss Army knife.
I guess the little punch in there.
Yeah, that little punch in the center one. You just kind of. Because he offered it to me the other day. He offered it to me like last week, and I was like, nah, because I was on the last hole, and I was like, nah, this is like, I'm doing good with this last hole. And today I was walking around, and my shit was falling everywhere that I fucking went, and the shit was getting annoying. I was like, fuck, all right, I'm gonna have to take you up on that.
I was gonna say, let me tell you a little secret. You made his day, because guys that carry around Swiss Army knives live for shit like that. That random
absolutely.
Bullshit, like, oh, I got a Swiss Army knife. And you're like, yeah, I guess. All right. Fucking do it then. I have all day.
Fuck you have with that. Fuck you have that for.
He's probably telling that story to like 30 people since he's been out of work. And his pants were falling. And then I was like, well, let me just punch a hole in it. And he was like, all right, do it. And then they didn't fall anymore. It was awesome.
Yeah.
Right on.
Finally got to use it.
Props to that dude.
Props to Dan.
Thanks, Dan.
All right. Next question.
Okay, so aside from wanting people to not be wasteful, what is your most boomer trait?
My most boomer trait.
Boomer trait. We talk a lot of shit about boomers, but odds are we got a couple boomer tendencies, and more so as I feel like we age. I feel like it just gets worse.
Yeah, one of the bigger ones is, and I don't know if it's technically a boomer trait, but definitely it's boomer-esque. I honestly can't stand like other people's kids, bro.
No, I feel that. That's not a boomer thing. I hate kids too. That's
not everyone, but I find myself, and it's not necessarily the kids, right? It's the fact that I am so on top of my kids, bro, to make sure that they aren't like a nuisance to anyone.
Yeah,
and to make sure that they're good and that they're safe and that they're polite, and obviously they're not perfect, but I'm gonna catch it and I'm gonna tell them like, yo, or if they're doing something, I'm correcting them in the moment. It's more annoying that other adults aren't correcting their fucking kids, bro.
Yes, parents.
It's the craziest. Like, I can't think of going somewhere and then just letting my kids loose, and then after X amount of time, just go, oh shit, where are my kids?
Where are those crazy kids?
Where are those crazy kids, right? And usually it pisses me off because it's usually me or my girl ends up having to watch other people's fucking kids.
Oh, yeah.
Because we are the parents that are on top of our kids, and we are following our own kids. And your kid is now playing with my kid, but you are nowhere to fucking be found. So I don't know if that's boomer-esque. But
I could definitely see that. Just
there's an argument for
these damn kids. Like, I would feel like if I were in that position, I would, like, if you're in my kid's radius, then I guess I'll watch you and I'll keep an eye. Just make sure you're not fucking hurting anybody or my kid. But I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to tell you something. Kids down. What's up?
If you are not paying attention to your kid, right, and our kids are playing, cool, whatever. Yes, I'm not going to let your kid get hurt. I'm not going to correct your kid. They're doing some wild shit. I might say, hey, might want to get down from there.
Yeah. If it's affecting my kid.
Yeah, and no, not even. Like, if I feel like he might get hurt, it's like, that's fine. You might want to get down from there. And if he gives me any attitude about it, all right.
All right, cool.
Yeah, cool. But I'm telling you, where your thought process of not watching your child is flawed is if my kid is running left and your kid is running right, both going in directions where they probably shouldn't go. I'm following my kid.
Oh, without a doubt.
No fucking clue what your kid is doing.
Not your problem.
Not my problem.
Nor your responsibility.
Nope. Because I didn't agree to watch this fucking kid.
Yeah, that's definitely. But I mean, boomer shit's just kind of like, yeah.
If it's not that, it's just. I don't. Give me your example.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Let me go with that. So I actually had a couple of them. Because I feel like I was.
Oh, you are.
I was overthinking it. I got some.
Yeah. You definitely are going to be
with, especially if I don't have any kids, dude. It's just gonna get so much worse that I'll just I'll have no understanding of what they go through.
Neither one of us is nowhere near Rocco. However,
oh God, no. But I'm probably closer.
He's a boomer
I'm probably
now.
Closer than you are.
you are.
So
and
just
like
loud noises or loud music in general, loud restaurants, loud anything. Honestly, like I don't want any sort of crazy volume. Like if I'm at a concert, sure. If I'm at a movie theater, it's an explosion. I get it. I don't want to hear people yelling outside my window, and I don't want fucking the commercials to be 7 times louder than the show I'm watching. I hate that shit.
Yeah, no.
Oh, you
I
got one?
feel
You got one? Let me hear before I name mine off.
You
Let me
can
hear
no,
what
you
got.
can you can name yours off.
Dark restaurants.
Dark restaurants.
I don't. Like I've been in a lot of restaurants, especially out here for some reason. If you go in a restaurant, a lot of them are very dimly lit, dude, and like you can barely see the menu, if they have a menu. Which leads me to my next QR codes. QR codes going into a fucking place. Get the fuck out of here with you.
Yeah.
Like I know how a QR code works.
We
I use
dealt
them all
with
the
that
fucking
in
time.
2020. That time is come and gone.
I get it, right? We didn't want to touch menus, and it's even still to this day. Like I'll wash my hands after touching a menu, but there's something about holding the menu, flipping the pages. Like going back and forth. Be like, oh, did I want this or did I want this? Like I don't want to touch my phone and shit, and just that's yeah. Let me just look at a menu. Let me peruse. Let me look at the font. Let me appreciate it. Get the fuck out of here with your QR codes.
You just had a fucking Seinfeld moment right there.
I miss old school cable. Old school cable was the only option there was. Maybe you could maybe I'll allow the Netflix DVDs. If you want to have the Netflix DVDs mailed back and forth, cool. Go back to when you had your Cinemax, your HBO.
Yeah.
All those channels you could just surf. Like I know we had the streaming and how it feels very saturated. And don't get me wrong, I love the content. But there was something about just grabbing the remote and flipping the channels. Like even with YouTube TV, like I have, like where there are channels, like it buffers when you go to a new channel. And like there really is no, like if you want to flip through it, it like takes 4 seconds before the next one actually loads. So it's more frustrating than anything. So yeah, bring back just that Time Warner remote. You know which one I'm talking about. The very first old school one. Yeah. That's what I want.
No, I feel you with that. I feel you on that. I do. I mean, I have a love-hate relationship with that, right? I love the fact that I don't have to be tethered to my TV at 9 o'clock to fucking watch this show, and then I have to catch it, the next time it airs.
Don't get me wrong. There were cons.
Yes. But I understand the wanting to just scroll, like, just
it's romantic.
Yeah,
there's something romantic. But it takes you back to being a kid when that's what you were bored. What would you do? You grab the fucking remote and you just start fucking. You find something. Maybe there's some titties on HBO. Maybe it's some crazy funny movie. Like it was an adventure, bro. When you were watching TV by yourself.
That's how I learned to love certain like B movies that I remember from the 80s and 90s that were like staples that were probably shitty movies to anybody else who saw it, but a lot of us connected from it.
Only the Strong in theaters. Like you watch that shit at 4 o'clock in the afternoon on a HBO. Saturday, like everyone else.
Yep. Enter or the Last Dragon.
Sure.
Bruce Leroy. Like those are movies you saw on HBO.
Don't Be a Menace.
Don't Be a Menace. I went to the theater to watch that.
That's fair.
My dad.
You had a cool dad.
Yeah, my dad took me. That was the first time I'd ever been to a fucking theater that was just like so fucking smoked out.
Damn, that's
everybody.
What's up,
everybody was just smoking weed in that bitch.
Wearing. I was gonna say, was that the wearing?
It was the wearing. Yeah.
Nice.
The wearing. Back to the subject at hand. The one thing that does fucking annoy the fuck out of me, bro, is people who hold full conversations on speakerphone.
That is definitely a boomer thing.
That is, like...
They hold it right. Sometimes they hold it like normal too, like it's a normal call, but it's on speakerphone.
Yeah, no, it's just like this. And
oh yeah, no, I see that, but like it's worse when they put it up to their ear.
Oh
like
yeah.
Normal, like just hold the fucking take the call normally then, if that's what you're gonna do.
Right.
Fuck.
I try to tell myself that they're just old and they can't really hear.
Yeah.
So I try to give them some sort of grace. But fuck all that.
I wish it were always old people, though. Sometimes it's not.
Sometimes it's not. It's a whole... Like, I don't even like taking FaceTime, taking full FaceTime calls. No. I don't mind doing FaceTime, with, like, my kids, my family, or whatever. I'm just saying, like, the fact that people can listen in on my conversation.
Yeah, no, I need AirPods.
Yeah, I always pop in my AirPods.
If I'm going to do that, yeah, I don't want people listening to my shit.
Like, I understand that you don't give a fuck about what I'm talking about. So, so that's one side of it. The other side is I don't want you fucking listening to what the fuck I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So,
facts. That felt good to vent. It felt good to get those off my chest.
Yeah. That brings me to my next boomer thought.
Oh, what's that?
I just hate the fact that everyone is. I lost it. I lost it. I had it. It was right on the tip of my tongue.
Oh man,
I lost it.
Just like
out.
that. That fucking.
I'm really a boomer.
Fireball and Sprite. Yeah, that's your.
No, I'm really a boomer.
Tendency.
That's just my.
Lost it.
It's my fucked up. My fucked up brain.
Well, if it comes back to you, just shout it out.
Yeah. Just people pissing me off in general all the time.
That's fair. Very boomer-esque.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah, that's all I have for questions. We're going to save that third for next week when Jonni comes back.
Sure.
Give it a little more thought.
Let's get into some.
You know what it's time for. News clips.
All right. So the biggest thing that came up within the last few days, bro. Let us know what I'll introduce it and then you can fill us in on what we can look forward to. WWDC aired yesterday.
Yes.
And we were given a little bit of insight on what the new Apple operating systems will feature in the in the near future. And they have some pretty dope features.
There was.
Yeah, a lot of it, I will admit is like it's not mind-blowing.
Sure.
Because they are features that are that the
available
Android
on the market.
Yeah, that like Android people remember what we end up forever. There definitely are some of those. But anyway, fill us in. What happened?
So I wish Jonni was here to talk about the Vision OS. The Apple Vision Pro came out I don't know, 6 months or so ago, something like that.
Yeah.
And it was obviously a very early operating system. It was the very first one, which, as we all know, is never the greatest. So they did. It felt like a slight update to that. Just a lot of sort of cosmetic things, the way things look. There were some cool things with like interactive photos. It was something that would convert some of your photos to make them look doper on the Vision Pro. I don't know, I'll probably let Jonni elaborate more on the Vision Pro just because I know he's
spatial. He
wears his shit every fucking
chance he gets.
Yes.
So spatial videos and spatial like memories are a thing.
Yes.
On the Vision Pro, but before this announcement, it was only available if you recorded it while wearing the headset. Then it would give this 3D version of the video that you were recording to give you a more
immersive.
What's the word? Yeah, immersive video and feel, so that when you're watching these, it feels like a memory.
Yeah, that's creepy. Crazy.
With the update now, it'll take your photos and give it that
same
spatial
look.
Feel. Yeah, exactly. So that's
and
pretty cool.
They were releasing Vision Pro in 8 other countries in July, like early July, which is going to be dope. And then just the last Vision Pro thing, they announced the ultra wide Max, so it shows you like your virtual desktop. So if you're working on Macs, it was a super widescreen version of your desktop, which for people that are using this for work and not just fucking around, that's probably super super dope. iOS 18 and iPad OS 18 had a lot of super super dope shit in them. There was a lot of shit in messages, sort of customization options for emojis and shit that weren't there previously. There was that option to completely hide an app on your phone, so like it basically turns off notifications from it. doesn't give any of your data, like, to any of the settings menus or preference menus. It basically doesn't exist on the phone. Which
you can hide the app and you can add passcodes to apps.
Yeah, Face ID, Touch ID to unlock. Yep,
to unlock whatever app you want to lock.
Right.
And then that once it's locked, it won't share that information with any kind of searches or anything like that. Like there won't be a loophole.
Spotlight searches on your phone. If you try to, actually search through the phone itself, it won't show up. It's, very, very private, which is good. But I feel like, there's some sort of nefarious things that may be going on with that feature, infidelities.
People's
and
been
whatnot.
saying that. People have been saying that for a while now. They always say, Apple makes Apple checks with cheaters to see what features they should they should add.
Yeah. And that was probably their number one. They're like, yeah, let me hide this shit so so my wife don't catch me on Grindr. Right.
And then the funny thing it's like they always like to balance it out. So what and they go, well, we'll give you passcodes, but you know what? We're going to balance that out. We're going to allow you to access your phone on your Mac, so you can actually open up your phone and scroll through your fucking phone while on your Mac.
I'm getting there. It's Sequoia.
Okay. Yep.
We're making our way there.
We're
dog.
making it work. We're making it work.
You want to talk? You want to go through these?
No.
Go for it. Keynote?
No.
No. I'm just fucking around.
No gracias.
iOS password app, standalone password app. So instead of like paying for some bullshit 1Password app or some bullshit like that, you can just use the standalone Apple one if you want for free, and they'll even let you import your passwords from other services that you may be paying for right now. So they really want you to, they want you to jump on that for sure.
Sure.
The last kind of cool iOS thing was that you can send texts via satellite. So if you're lost or, you're somewhere without service, you're hiking, you can't find anyone, you can still use, some satellites that Apple has, or your network, whatever network you're on, to send. Well, I guess if they're iMessages, then it would be Apple servers. But either way, that's awesome. I'm sure we've all been somewhere at some point trying to send something without any service, and that really blows.
Right. Happens to me all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, so now you'll be able to send it via satellite. So, if you're trapped or something, you're in the middle of nowhere, as long as you get that satellite going, you good.
I think it's the same satellites they would use for, like, the
watch
911 calls, too. Like, if you
that's
were
true.
somewhere without service and you needed to make an emergency call, I think it's those same satellites or similar.
Yeah, because I know the watch does that, too, where if you are somewhere with no service and you're lost and you're trapped or you're hurt or something, it would emit your location via satellite to get you found.
That's what's up. The new macOS Sequoia, the feature that you talked about was something that I thought was one of the things that I remembered most from the keynote. iPhone mirroring, where let's say you're downstairs with your laptop, you're working, and your phone's in the other room. You literally can pull up a virtual copy of your phone on the Mac and, swipe through it, go into an app, like literally you can do anything that you could do if the phone were in your hand without having to go get it. So if you were, wanted to look at a note or something that wasn't synced, I mean, you could literally go into any app. I think in the demonstration of the keynote, like he pulled up his phone and he ordered a coffee or something like from one of his mobile ordering apps. And I just thought, I don't know how you felt, but I thought that blew me away, that feat Like it's something that I never really thought about, but damn.
Not necessarily that part of it. I thought it was dope that while it's up on your Mac, that you could import like things from the actual computer. So like, and the way I thought about it is like I edit our promos and stuff. I edit them in Final Cut on the Mac, but I always have to airdrop, or I have to airdrop the video to my phone and then go to my phone, go to the app, and upload it that way onto the different socials. So now I'll be able to pull up my phone on my Mac and you know, click upload, select the video from my Mac, and it seamlessly just does it.
Could you go both ways? Could you pull a file from the phone?
I'm sure, yeah,
Mac?
like photos and stuff. You'll be
I don't remember
you'll
the
be
exact
able to
demo that they
access your
did.
photos, and I'm sure you could just drag it.
Yeah,
You know, so
that's dope too.
they
Because like,
didn't,
if you
they
shot
didn't
some
say
video,
that, but that's my assumption.
if you shot video on your phone and you were editing on the computer, you're like, oh, I want to get that footage from the phone. You could just pull it right from the phone, drop it into Final Cut or whatever you're using to edit it.
Yeah,
Damn.
it's pretty dope.
That was pretty dope, man. The Password app also was featured in Mac OS, the Sequoia. There was a few other little things that you can look up if you want, but those were some of my favorites. The big thing that I feel like they spent probably half of that keynote on was the AI integration that they were working with.
The Apple Intelligence.
Apple Intelligence, which I thought was funny because it was still AI, and obviously that was their
Right.
that was
Took me
their
a second.
plan. There was the Chat GPT integration, which I thought was, people were rumors about like that they were going to do it. And instead of like a full integration, they made it seem like, you have the option to use it if you want. Like if, I don't know if it's up to Siri or who decides if, that could help your search or find what you're looking for. But, it was free. They said they really stressed that you didn't need a Chat GPT account. And for those who did have one and like they might be paying for it, like you can still use those features on the phone and, in the iOS itself. So that was pretty dope.
Yeah,
There's a lot of
didn't
AI.
they explain too that it's going to be more of a closed version of like it's not going to be as expansive as like the full Chat GPT, but it's just going to make your experience in their ecosystem better.
Yeah, I forget the term that they used for it, but they were very careful to like, let you know that it wasn't like this full on, do whatever you want with AI. I think I used the term sandboxed, where like it's a very controlled experience that they're giving you, which is tracks for Apple.
Yeah, that's fine.
I mean,
they
don't want it to be too difficult for you, because if you've ever pulled out like a Chat GPT app or tried to use it, like it's not the most intuitive, user-friendly, especially early versions, like when you were just typing in prompts and shit. I remember looking at some of those and being like, how the fuck do you even use these? And they've gotten, better, where you can just type in sort of what you're looking for. The AI they also introduced into any of the apps that you could write in, where you could highlight your text and basically use AI to say things in different ways, reformat it, all kinds of crazy options for any of the apps, third party and Apple made, that integrated that as well. The iOS betas aren't going to include any of the AI stuff, I think, until like the end of the summer or fall, I think is what they said.
Sure.
But, it was nice that they spent so much time on the AI, because like, they had talked about it. And like I said, there were rumors of it. But, it was probably a solid 45 minutes. Did you watch the whole
I did,
keynote?
yeah.
Were you able to watch it all?
Yep.
And even the production value of it was great. Ash and I were talking about it, and, it used to just be Steve in his turtleneck, on the stage.
Now they're fucking
doing his thing, and now they're
hallways
skydiving, and they have stunt coordinators and shit. Like it was a legit little movie, dude, and I thought it was dope. It was really interesting, and I'll be honest, like I think that's the first keynote that I've actually watched like beginning to end for whatever reason. I usually don't get to sit around and watch, especially when we were.
I mean, that's
in retail.
That's the good thing in the fact that we're in the tech world is that every job that I've gone to has been like, oh, it's the keynote, let's go watch it.
Yeah.
you know,
For sure.
And we take that time to just sit there and watch the keynote.
Fuck off.
You know, yeah. So yeah, that's always been a good thing. One of the doper things, I don't know if you're still going through
what do you got?
features,
what do you
but
want to talk about?
one of the doper things that I enjoyed was the what was it? The
emoji
calculator
the
thing.
Genmoji.
No, the calculator thing was pretty dope.
Yeah.
Where if you have, I mean, it works on the phone and stuff too.
Yeah.
But if you have the iPad and the pencil, and you can write out equations, the second that you put an equal symbol in there, it will calculate it for you and give you the answer.
And then change in real time as you change the variables and shit, dude.
Correct,
like,
yes.
Math grades are about to skyrocket all over the country. Dog. That's all I could think is, bro, if I had this when I was in school, oh my God, homework would have just been a breeze. I would have taken the craziest calculus classes and would have failed every test, though, if I couldn't have my iPad there with me.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
But that was super
kids
dope. That was some
these kids
futuristic.
Got it good. So that was pretty dope. The fucking emoji creator,
the emoji creator, the image generator too. There was like an internal image generator. Like there was so much that like I couldn't even like comprehend all of it or its specific uses. A lot of it kind of overlapped with the different presentations they were given, but.
The dopest thing is like, the emoji creator, like you can have it create an emoji of, whatever.
Yeah.
You
Whoever,
want it to.
like your friends, it'll take your friends' pictures and be like, oh yeah, I'll make a fucking lock.
If you have in your photos or something, if you have, you have it listed that this is Dave.
Right.
And then I'll put, Dave blowing out a candle or,
I know where you're going with that.
Yeah. Dave
blowing out a candle.
Yeah, Dave blowing dicks.
Blowing dick candles out.
It would just generate the image and turn it into like an emoji.
Yeah.
I'm sure it won't let me do that, even though I would love for it to let me do
even like
that.
the good ones, like the meta ones, the meta AI. It's very picky about what images it'll generate. Nothing like copyrighted, nothing vulgar. Like I've tried some shit, and it's just fuck you. It's no fun.
But anyway, that's a lot of cool shit to look forward to. I think I'm not 100% sure, but I think this year may be the year that I upgrade my phone. I'm still rocking a 12 Pro.
Oh, it's better than my mom. She's got a 10R. She's still using, dog. Yeah,
I mean that's another reason why I'm doing it. Like I always give my girl the hand-me-down.
That's some boomer shit. Getting the most out of your phone. That's a boomer trait right there. Rocking that shit.
I'm not trying to get the most out of my phone, but I'm also not trying to spend phones are expensive now, dude.
Some boomer shit right there.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
I got a perfectly good phone right here. What do I need to upgrade?
My girl, she always takes my hand-me-downs.
She had like a 4S or something when you fucking
when I first
met her, right? Something crazy.
We've been together for going on 9 years now, and she had a 4S, and I remember at the time I had I think I had a 6 or 7. And she was rocking a 4S. I was like, yo, what the fuck what are you doing?
That's crazy.
But it's because she truly doesn't care. So
I respect that.
And right now she's still rocking my old 10, and I've had to fix it for her a number of times, change the display, and then she cracked it again.
How do you calibrate that bitch?
I actually, the last time she broke it, I took it to the Apple store, and they still serviced it.
Oh damn.
But either way, like now she cracked it, and I'm like, we're not paying for that. So I'm thinking when the new phone drops, I may upgrade to the new shit, and then I'll give her my 12, and she'll be happy with that.
All right.
Just take it to the store, replace the battery on it, because definitely the battery's consumed.
I like how at least tells you in the menu now.
Yeah, I just been mad lazy to fucking go in there and replace the battery, but I'll give that to her. So is that it?
Yes.
For WWDC.
WWDC 24.
All right.
Dub.
Cool, man. Let's see. What else do we have to talk about? This was kind of interesting, but not really that outlandish. But apparently now the daily marijuana users are have outpaced daily drinkers in the U.S. So as of back in as of 2022, there was an estimated 17.7 million people who reported using marijuana daily or near daily, compared to 14.7 million drinkers that drink near daily. Like,
that
it's
tracks,
crazy,
dude. That tracks. I mean, at least in my experience, it's so much easier to like just smoke a joint at night and go to bed. You're nice and sleepy. You're not hungover in the morning. Like drinking has its times, and it's definitely fun at those times. But it's not something that I could sustain doing every day.
No,
like, for sure.
I can function drinking. Like I can have a good time. I can, if I have a drink at home or something, I can still function. I am, granted, I'm not going to be drinking all day.
Right.
That's where shit gets wild. But I don't know. I've always reached a cap, and I've always been good about handling my drink. But even that, like, I smoke once, bro. I'm fucking burnt out, dumb. Like, you can't get me to do anything. It's rough. Yeah, I'm dead to the world.
I feel that it's not for everyone, but for like your average smoker who is smoking frequently, it's much more habitual. I feel
for sure.
And then I'll do both some days, so like they kind of cancel each other out. But if you can find that good mix of, you have a beer, maybe have 2 beers, you rip a bong, or take a couple puffs off of something, or even like a vape pen.
I could never do it when I was smoking heavy. If I knew I was drinking, I'm not smoking. I just couldn't. That shit would fuck me up.
See, back in the day, if I got super drunk and then smoked, I would hurl. I would get sick for sure, because there was something about, I don't know what it was, but as I got older and I realized, hey, you don't have to get fucking shit-faced every time you drink. You can have, 2 or 3 drinks and just cool out, smoke something. Like that's probably why. That's like my equilibrium, where I like to live in that little zone. But yeah, definitely. I mean, I could have a beer with dinner, but I don't.
That's probably why I can't, dude. Because I got to get shit-faced.
That explains it. Yeah. No control.
No control at all. What was I gonna say? But it's not a surprise though. It's not a surprise that this is going on. Like now, especially, I mean, first of all, you're gonna have more people that admit it, because it's legal in most places, or it canceled out. Right? Like people just aren't. They're not hiding it anymore. It's not as taboo as it was.
There you go. Yeah.
So people are gonna say, yeah, hell yeah. Whereas like, and this says that in 92, the daily pot users was less than 1 million people that said that they use it every day.
Oh yeah.
And I'm sure that
underreported, like you said, it's illegal. They're not gonna be like, yeah, I'm getting high all the fucking time. Like, they'd be shook for sure.
Yeah. So yeah. That tracks. It tracks.
Yeah. I fuck with that. Let's keep it going.
Yeah. Speaking of the siblings.
What do we got?
Oh, no. I'm just saying they're FaceTiming.
Yeah,
let's see what they say. Yo, y'all interrupting my damn my podcast recording. I'm just joking. All right, bro. I'll talk to y'all later. This shit gets wild. So yeah, yeah, that happens every day. Well, not every day, but every other day. I at least check in with them and let them know, like, yeah, we good. Let's see. So we have more people added to the list of lawsuits. As you know, it's been very, very popular. Nowadays, that these celebrities or people in music, movies, whatever, they are accusations getting thrown their way.
Sure.
The latest person in this is, and you may or may not know of them, but his name is The Dream. He's a music producer, famous music producer, produced a lot of famous songs that you do know, from Beyonce, from Rihanna, had his own hits and whatnot. He's being accused now of rape, sex trafficking, sexual battery, all kind of shit. So
how do you feel about that?
He's the latest one.
I mean, because usually when people get accused, like you have a vibe, you're like, oh, all right, or like, nah, fuck all that. Like, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, who knows when it comes to these celebrities? I mean, they always try to claim the same thing, right? Like, he had a representative that came out and said that he claims that it's untrue, it's defamatory, and that he's deeply offended, blah blah blah, like all the same stuff.
Clutches his pearls.
Says. Right.
Gotcha.
But also, we've heard of those stories, man. Like these people in these positions of power, especially like what this person is accusing them of doing. It's stating that that The Dream was pretty much promised this girl, fame, doing all the things that hit songs, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Promised them the world.
Sure.
And that's a tale as old as time, bro.
Yeah.
That these people in power, that's, that was Epstein, not Epstein, Weinstein. That's pretty much everyone in power kind of holds that over their head.
Right.
To get sex. And is it likely? Possibly. But, this one is just getting... This one is a little wild. There's stories that he would, hold her down to have sex and like forced her in many cases to do wild shit. So it's definitely damaging to their
I feel like the more specificity, the more likely it is to be true. And they have multiple very specific tales and goings on. Like it's not good. Doesn't look good. Let's put it that way. Hey, innocent until proven guilty, but yeah, it doesn't sound fantastic from here.
Right. It doesn't. No, it doesn't. But but then again, like, I do understand that there are people who
are bitter because they didn't achieve their dreams.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Or whatever. So I don't know if this person did it. I don't know if The Dream did it.
It's not our job.
It's not our job, but he's just another one of the GOATs, man. He's great. He's a great musician. His most famous work is Umbrella by Rihanna. He wrote that.
I know that.
He wrote a bunch of shit, and I mean, they're coming for all of them, man. If Russell Simmons is living in Bali trying to escape all that bullshit, everybody else is doing it too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Rough. It's rough out here. It's hard out here for a pimp.
I was about to say it.
That actually helps me go right into the next one. But did you want to take a piss break?
No, I'm good.
Now you good? All right.
Yep.
So we're going to go into some Hollywood. Yeah, since we're on the subject, one of the first ones to come out of Hollywood, from that whole, was it part of the Me Too movement? I believe so. But Kevin Spacey.
Yeah.
Kevin Spacey was a part of that.
Oh, yeah.
He was accused of groping numerous people. There was numerous accusations thrown his way. Mm-hmm. And he was one of the first ones to really feel the blowback. The blowback, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Lost his career.
Yep.
Great career, great actor, and can't find work anywhere.
Nope.
Because nobody's fucking with him.
Right.
So apparently he was on what the fuck is the name of the
Piers
show?
Morgan.
Piers Morgan. There we go. Thank you. He was on Piers Morgan, and he pretty much was in tears, saying that he's too broke, and that he can't pay the bills that he owes. He said that this week, where I had been living in Baltimore, is being foreclosed. My house is being sold at auction, so I have to go back to Baltimore and put all my things in storage. So I'm not quite sure where I'm going to live now. Now, he did beat the case in California, I want to say. And
okay.
In that case, there were 4 gentlemen who were accusing him of being inappropriate, and he beat that case.
Yeah.
So here's the one thing that I will say about this whole Me Too movement, right? Is if they did it, like, sure, like, fucking throw him under the jail, fuck him, like, whatever. But like in this case, where he, if he's beating these cases, do you think that nowadays he would still be able to get his career back? Or does that still loom over his head? Like the rumor is worse than
still looming.
Well, yeah. He still has other court cases that he's
right.
fighting.
But even if he beat those, even all his, let's say all his court cases hypothetically were beaten, not proven, doesn't clear him necessarily of doing any wrong. It just means they couldn't prove it, couldn't find him guilty or what have you. But I feel like that still looms. Those accusations, when you're fucking around like that, whether it's kids or just anybody against their will, like nobody gives you a pass for that. Like I don't even know, like, who's come back from that? Anybody from the Me Too? Like Harvey got acquitted from something, and he's going to retry other cases. Like,
nah, he wasn't. There anybody? Well, he was acquitted, but he was acquitted on a technicality.
Okay, but
it wasn't necessarily that he didn't do it. It was just
couldn't prove it, or somebody fucked up the paperwork.
No,
some bullshit
it was something.
Like that.
It was something that had to do with like, that state or some shit where he was released in, like, let's say it was New York State or whatever, where he was currently in prison. He got found on a technicality, or some sort of something that expired. He was let go, but quickly extradited to the other place where he was fucking actually convicted and just moved to a new state, or some shit like that. But I'll tell you one thing though, even though it was popular, it was famous or whatnot, you know who I still haven't seen come back? Johnny Depp. And his shit wasn't like anything crazy. It was just him and his girl.
Yeah.
Amber Heard. And then that court case went viral. Everyone was watching it. Everybody laughs at her. She was also damaged in this because she was, incredibly at fault on a lot of these things that happened. But I still haven't seen Johnny Depp come back.
No, maybe it's by choice, or like you say, maybe studios still are just like, we know he won, but even with the way without his past, without any of that bullshit, the movie industry is very fickle. we saw Furiosa just come out, do terrible numbers. It's supposed to be a great movie. Nobody's in it that had any, improprieties or any accusations. So you add somebody with accusations to an already volatile movie market, bro. These studios are not fucking around.
No, they're not. They're not. As a matter of fact, talking about that, he does have one movie that he's currently working on.
What's he got? Was anything that?
It's called The Carnival at the End of Days.
Okay. Sounds like a Johnny Depp movie.
Yeah. Directed by Terry Gilliam.
Of course, yeah.
Because that's
that's
Johnny
his
Depp
guy.
movie.
That's his guy.
Yeah.
That's his homie. He's like, I got you. You need a job? I got you. Let's do this.
It's Johnny Depp, Jason Momoa, and Adam Driver.
Adam Driver.
Mm-hmm. He plays
Driver.
Johnny Depp plays the devil.
All right. I mean, that's a good Johnny Depp role. I could see that.
And the summary is God, disappointed with I can't even speak right now. God, disappointed with what's gone down on planet Earth, wants to wipe out humanity, and the only one who wants to save them is Satan, who convinces God that two young people he found are the new Adam and Eve.
Is Adam Driver God?
I don't know.
Because if he is, I refuse to watch that piece of shit. No, I'm sorry, I can't.
He would be God if you really think about it. Oh, what the fuck? Really?
What?
Brace yourself for this.
Oh, Jesus.
I didn't see this. Oh, rumored. Okay, rumored. Adam Driver, rumored to play a young Neil McCauley in Heat 2.
I remember. That's been a rumor for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like that's happening. I feel like that's going to be a go, dude. I feel like
Think that's going to be good?
Yeah. I don't know. You know how I feel about Adam Driver.
Jeff Bridges is playing God.
Okay.
I like that.
I like that too.
Yeah, I like that.
He can be a nice dick.
Yeah.
Pause.
You know what? Let's just wipe the world with him. wipe everyone out.
The banjo was invented.
Good callback. That was a pretty bad Jeff Bridges impression, but
that was like the dude. Was that like the dude if he were God?
Yeah.
I like it. I fuck with it.
Yeah. Let's see. So I don't know. Kevin Spacey. If you did it, man, you shouldn't do shit like that, man.
Do you want to see him? Would you be upset if he came back with a banger like Brendan Fraser style and just fucking killed it?
You don't want to ask me that question because it's like, in all reality, I think Hollywood would be empty as a bitch. Like all of the people that we enjoyed watching growing up, they've all had their egos. They were all fucking movie stars when this shit was okay.
You saying Denzel was fucking around?
You know what I'm saying. I probably not, because Denzel is one of the exceptions where he's like married to his high school sweetheart and all that. But what I'm saying is, I'm just saying, when I say it's not literally all of them, but
the general.
Yeah, the general. You can't tell me that Sylvester Stallone didn't have a fucking huge ego back when he was a fucking star and doing wild shit. Fucking Arnold Schwarzenegger. All of these
misogynistic.
Fucking, yeah, I mean, even
Macho.
when Sean Connery died, people were just like talking mega shit about him because of interviews in like the 70s or 80s or
with
something.
Like Playboy.
Yeah, where he said,
smacking a chick, it was all right to just belt her.
It's okay to just correct them. Just smack them one time in the mouth and they need that.
Smacking.
Yeah, a good smacking. I'll
Alcatraz.
smack you right now. You talk shit to me, bitch.
That sounds like the SNL one, like Daryl.
Yeah,
that sounds like the Daryl
yeah.
Hammond, Sean Connery.
I mean,
I hear it. That
You
was
gotta
good.
exaggerate it.
That's
You
all
gotta
right.
exaggerate
That was
it.
good.
Yeah. Are you saying that I can't? I'll smack you.
Like if I close my eyes, I could see it with his fake beard, and he had like a pipe. I feel like he had a pipe when he would do that. Shouts to Daryl Hammond.
Yeah. So I mean, I don't know, man. Probably depends on what he's involved in. Honestly,
Right?
Like it is what it is. Like I don't know.
We can still separate the art from the artist.
What's crazy though is like some of these people that accused him of this were like this was like in the 80s or something.
Yeah, and there was
when
a lot
this
of coke.
happened.
There's a lot of coke back then. Who knows what was going on? You know what I'm saying?
Well, he's coming out and he's saying that, you know, he acknowledges, he pretty much acknowledged that maybe he was too handsy, but he said like I never groped anyone and I didn't know that they didn't want this to, you know, to happen or something.
That's enough for me. Let's bring him back.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, like you said, it's tough.
Yeah,
That cloud,
it really is a tough
looms
call.
over you and your career regardless. So it's unfortunate for the people who didn't fuck around. And,
I think-
you know, you deserve it if you did. So fuck you.
I think these celebrities, if they're involved in a rumor, people are just going for that. Like there's no recovering. From
no,
that.
it's tough. It's dangerous. Scary.
Yeah. So the boys, it's next. Is it next week or this week?
This week, yeah.
This
So
week.
it'll drop the date. If this drops on Thursday like they normally do, it'll drop today will be when the first 3 episodes come out.
Can't wait. But with that being said, they've confirmed that the that the show will end with season 5.
I could have swore I just saw a bunch of shit from Kripke talking about how he fucked up and it wasn't going to end after 5. And then all of a sudden, like yesterday or the day before, very recently, it said, oh yeah, this is it. That's when it's ending. That's it.
Yeah. I mean, he's saying that it's always been his plan to do that, or pretty much I think or maybe what was going on was the fact that it probably was the plan to end after 5 seasons. And with it going so well, he was probably receiving, a lot of push to extend that and to push it out. I think instead we're getting spin-offs because we have Gen V that fucked.
And that's going to
There's
keep
another
going,
one.
he said. Even though
that's going to keep going.
So I feel
There's
like because they
another
kind of
spin-off, too.
overlap. So like if you end one, like will they roll some of those characters into Gen V, or like
Possibly.
is that boy's arc completely done, and then the Gen V people become the 7 or what? Like I want to see how that plays out. I'm curious.
Yeah, because if you really think about it, The Boys is not the story of the superheroes, but it's the story of
Starlight for the most part. I feel like she was one of the...
no, The Boys though. It's the guys who are trying to take them down.
Yeah. Okay.
So it's about them and that's
taking down the Soups. It's like a little
taking down the Soups.
contained story.
What's his name? Billy
Butcher.
And his boys. I think that's what The Boys is about. It's about them in
Mother
this
milk
soup world. So the Soups will live on. They said that they plan on having a crazy fucking showdown when it comes to Billy Butcher and Homelander.
It's gotta be
squaring off. It's got to be crazy. They said it's gonna be fucking gory. It's gonna be.
Do you remember the Soldier Boy fight with the Butcher from last season with the fucking Homelander? Oh my god. Yeah. I remember watching that. I haven't been that like enthralled since like the Breaking Bad finale, dude. Like it was just intense as fuck.
Yeah. I mean, every time I think that the boys can't raise the bar,
push it. Yeah, no, they do.
They fucking
easily
push it.
Yeah, in like the first episode too. You're like, fuck. All right, here we go. We're in it now.
Yeah, just when you think like, oh, it can't get any crazier, there's a fucking guy
tiny dude running around inside of a dick.
Yeah. Yeah. If it's not a tiny dude rubbing the inside of a dick, or it's
what's her face jumping and jerking the dick off because she was so fucking tiny.
If it's not
how
that,
am I not writing for this show? I don't understand.
It's somebody getting choked out by a fucking massive dick. That's a superpower.
Fucking hero-gasm, bro. Right. Legendary.
So legendary. But yeah, he said that The Boys was always his plan to end with 5 seasons, and he promised that the show's conclusion will be a gory, epic, moist climax.
Ooh, a moist climax. That's uncomfortable, but I like it.
Yes.
Moist.
He also, he also came out and, and had some words to say about those people who are realizing that The Boys is quote unquote woke.
Yeah, it's a social commentary on the bullshit that we're seeing these days. Yeah,
it's crazy, bro. Like the amount of people that see Homelander and like connect with him and think that he's actually like the hero. Right. What's his name? The guy who plays him. Tony Starr. Tony Starr had to come out and like really and tell people like, yo, if you connect with this dude on a level,
on an emotional, like an actual, like, not ironic, like, hey, this dude is
you have something
everything that we, for sure, yeah, and that's great because like that just tracks because the people that are just sort of now realizing are the same people that they're fucking making fun of.
Yes.
That's why it's so like what's the chick's boyfriend there? Todd,
yeah.
Todd, he's like he like idolizes, so he's like an ultra MAGA dude, like just, everything Homelander. Excuse me. I follow a Todd account on Twitter. And it's just like, the same sort of MAGA right-wing message, but sort of like in the Boys universe of like how, Trump is like Homelander. Like he tweets about Homelander like MAGA tweets about Trump, basically. And it's just a really, really funny account to follow because it's like the dude's picture and everything, and that dude's such a dipshit, like in the show. Fucking Todd. I love it. I can't wait for that to come back, dude. I'm bummed that it's going to be ending, but like you said, they're going to have Gen V, and then there's going to be like a Mexico spinoff. I think that there is currently in the works
I forgot
right
what the next spinoff was going to be about. But it has to do with like Mexico or some shit.
Yeah,
but yeah, I mean, if it's all the same writers and shit, like Gen V was dope,
flawless.
Yeah, I loved it. It was great.
Yeah.
So I don't feel so terrible about as long as it gives us what we want. If something is meant to end at season 5, then by all means, let it end at season 5.
They could have given us one season like Watchmen. We should be thankful we're getting 5 seasons. Even I'm not going to bitch about 5's and done. Like if that's your story, if that's all you got in you, I respect it.
Love it. I'll take it. Confirmed that Peaky Blinders, we talked about it a little while ago, but now it's official that Peaky Blinders is officially coming out and it's set to release on Netflix. Which that part I'm like not too happy about, but
oh, that's perfect. I mean, it's a Netflix show. Like that's where they've been airing. I know it was originally like BBC or whatever. They bought it from England. But I feel like Netflix is like the Peaky Blinders home. I'm not mad at that at all. I don't want to go to the theater to see that shit. That's a streaming movie all day, bro.
I would go to the theater to watch Peaky Blinders.
I bet you would.
But that brings me back full circle to what I forgot earlier. The thing I don't like about streaming and the only thing that makes me hesitant about this news or liking this news is the fact that movies that are made to release on Netflix or any kind of streaming service, they're okay.
Yeah.
Like they're very lackluster. There's no longevity in them. It's like that, you'll watch it and it's like, oh, that was cool. That was pretty good. Like that.
They don't need to draw you. You already have the service. You just got to press the button on it and let it play.
But that's my point about
yeah, no, I get it.
That's my point about like why we loved watching movies back in the day, like what we fell in love with when it came to movies. Like we have movies that we still fucking talk about, that we rewatched numerous times. We're talking about, we talked about Heat and how it had like the best fucking scene. Mm-hmm. And that dropped in what, 95?
Yeah, something like that, mid-90s.
Yeah, I want to say 95. And, like there's just like, while there are those types of scenes, I don't know. People just don't go back. Like I have no need to go back to watch like A Gray Man or fucking what's that other one with with
Extraction?
Chris Hemsworth. Yeah, Extraction. And that had some fucking dope scenes.
I didn't even watch the second one. The second one came out. I never watched it.
The second one had a fucking, that's all I was going to mention, is like he had a fucking crazy ass one shot prison scene. And, they're like, there's just no longevity in these movies.
Do you think
but for some
there
reason,
would be longevity if these movies actually dropped in the theater? Is it something about the theater that propels these movies, or is it the movies themselves that are being shown in the theater that are like, wow? Or is it just being there? Like, is the theater the element that's missing to it, or is it the movie? Is it both?
Level. I think it's the level of quality that comes with a theatrical release. There's a level of quality that these directors produce on a movie that is being released in theaters, where they're trying to break these records, as opposed to meeting a quota for Netflix or Amazon, where the quality is just not there. Like, you'll watch this movie and sure, it'll be fine, it'll be good. It's a good, what Jonni calls a popcorn flick, right? But, something is always off. It just doesn't have the same feel to the cinematography. There's just something that makes it feel less epic, in my opinion. And you can feel that in a movie like when we saw, what was Martin Scorsese's? And that was an Apple TV movie, I want to say. But the Killers of the Flower Moon.
Yes.
Right? But he intended that, even though it was a deal with Apple TV, he intended that to be a theatrical release, and it had the feel of a theatrical release, as opposed to the straight to Netflix one. I want to say it was straight to Netflix.
The Irishman.
The Irishman, right? It was straight to Netflix, right?
Yeah, I feel like it dropped during the pandemic or after, just after, yeah.
Yeah, that movie, I don't know, it just wasn't. It just didn't feel like it was that great of a movie to me.
So what if Heat dropped on Netflix? Is it still hitting?
What do you mean?
If Heat never came out in 94, let's say it was released instead of going into theaters when it dropped, if it was streamed, or let's say it wasn't released back then, but it just came out 2 years ago. It would
probably be fucking. And of course, this is not. I'm not saying that this is written in stone. That if it's, I'm just saying that this is an observation that I've made. A majority, of course, there's going to be probably like one or two that you'd be like, "Damn, that movie was fucking good." And it came out.
It wasn't a commentary. And it came out on your point. It was more of like a, is it the movie, or is it right, or is it the medium that's taking away from those movies?
I think that the medium is trying to produce way too much. So the movies themselves that are produced with strictly this medium in mind are watered down
and phoned in on a level.
And phoned in, yeah.
Because they can be. Because
Sure.
there is no expectations of let's get asses in theaters. It's just clicks
let's
and
just
views.
push this out. Let's push this out so that we can have the #1 movie on our app
right
for
on
the
our
first
own
week
app,
or
like
two. Yeah, for the
jerking
first
your
week
own
or
dick
two.
off and being like, yeah, look at us. I jerked my own dick off.
Yep.
Good
And then
job.
after that week, it slowly dips
Right.
and then it
it's
disappears and then
forgotten.
that's it.
Yeah, it's into the abyss, into the streaming abyss. Absolutely. No, I agree
So is
with
that? That's what I'm saying. So is that better than fucking a theatrical release? Because like even if you wait for it to come home, if the overall production of the movie is better, then you can watch it at home and you'll fucking enjoy it. Look at Civil War. Civil War was fucking. It was dope as fuck, and we waited till we can watch it at home.
We did.
And it was so fucking good. I kind of wish that I saw it in theater. But, because of, the whole surround sound and all that shit, I feel like it would have been dope. But the experience was still fucking, like, it was still great.
Yeah, it was. I really enjoyed Civil War.
Now, if that was a straight to Netflix movie, we would have got something like, what's the end of the world one?
Oh, with Ethan Hawke there?
Yeah.
I really liked that, though.
No, I enjoyed the movie.
Yeah.
But it was really lacking something.
Yeah.
And everyone was saying it.
Yeah. No, I get what you're saying. I forget what it was called, but it was
the end of the end of tomorrow.
I keep wanting to say like the day after tomorrow, but it's
me
not.
too. That's not it. That's not it. Yeah.
Yeah. I know what you're saying.
But you know what I'm saying. Like there is a level of just a lack of quality, a slight lack of quality when it comes to these, and that's where again Apple TV Plus has been killing it, and that's what they've been doing. Like they'll produce, like, these movies are made in their studios. They've been producing these movies, but they're coming out in theaters. They're theatrical releases.
I love it.
They're
and
really
I hate
trying
it.
to do their shit. Yeah, you love it and you hate it. I mean, we can wait until it drops on the app like months later, but I feel like if a movie comes out in the theater, it's probably going to be much better quality than those other ones. That's all.
And even when it does drop in the theater, they're not keeping it in theaters for very long these days before it streams. Like it's like a month tops. You have a month. Show us what you can do in a month.
Depends on how much it makes.
or else we're fucking streaming it.
Depends how much it makes.
Yeah,
If
it has to make a fucking
banks,
lot.
it's staying in the fucking theater.
Yeah, we're gonna get
as long as it
Furiosa
can.
like tomorrow.
Yeah, right. But that's the downside. Is like people are just less people. Like it has to really fuck for it to go to the theater and people actually spend their money to go watch it.
I just got a Deadpool ticket. It was the first movie I'll see in the theater all year.
Can't wait.
Oh, for sure.
Oh, that's gonna be so good. And the last thing I have here is Yahya Abdul-Mateen is announced to star in a Netflix what the fuck am I even saying right here? I can't even fucking spit this out. Yahya Abdul-Mateen II will star in a series adaptation of Man on Fire for Netflix.
That was the Denzel movie, right? Where he was searching for Dakota Fanning.
Correct. Yes.
Yes. I am here for that. I loved Man on Fire. That was like one of my favorite DVDs.
Great movie.
Love me some Creasy. And I've been a sucker for Yahya since he was Dr. Manhattan in the first season of Watchmen on HBO. And he had that role in Candyman. I thought Candyman was dope. I think he's got good chops, and we talked about this, how he takes on some questionable roles from time to time.
Yeah, that was actually going to be my question. Is he actually a good actor, or does he just pick shitty roles, bro?
I 100% think he is a good actor, and I will die on that hill. He has chops. I know that dude can act, but maybe his agent. Maybe we don't know what his work is like. Maybe he's just trying to, pay the bills, do what he's got to do. Make sure his house doesn't get auctioned off like Kevin Spacey's.
Sure.
You gotta take a wonky role every now and then. I get it. That's cool. But there's no doubt in my mind that dude can act, and that if this show is written well and produced with enough resources, that I think it could be a badass show. Was this gonna be on Netflix? You said?
Yeah, it's a Netflix series.
Okay. I mean, Netflix has the bread to throw around. They're not gonna throw theater bread at it, but you need a decent amount of money for a series. I would say maybe as much for a theatrical release than, just kind of combining it into a stretched out little medium there. But yeah, I will 100% check it out and fuck with it. I could see Yahya being a badass Creasy.
Yeah, and don't get me wrong, I do fuck with Yahya. It's just he's just in so many movies that are just like misses. And he, let's not forget also that he's going to be in the MCU as well. He's going to be starring in a series for the MCU for Wonder Man.
I totally forgot about that.
But he did great in the one season of Watchmen that we got. But he was in Candyman, which he didn't do bad. The movie was just meh.
Yeah, it was meh.
He was in The Matrix as Morpheus and Agent Smith. But even then it was a fucking very weird ass fucking Morpheus.
It was a weird movie in general.
Very weird. He was Black Manta in Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom. Mm-hmm. Another shitty movie. Ambulance, I don't think I've seen.
I did not see it. Was that with Jake Gyllenhaal?
It is, yeah.
I have not seen that either.
I have not seen that. That's right. He was in Black Mirror, where he was part of. He and Anthony Mackie were in that weird video game gay relationship.
Yeah, I remember you telling me about that.
It was very weird, very wild. He was in Handmaid's Tale. Forgot about that.
Oh shit! I don't even remember any black people in Handmaid's Tale. What the fuck was he?
I don't know. They said he played Omar in one episode.
Racist as fuck. See, his agent, man. I'm telling you. Mm-mm.
Yeah.
Nope.
I guess he hasn't been in too many things. He's only been in 19 movies.
Damn.
Yeah. So he's not even. He still has a chance to bring himself up and be one of the greats, but
he does.
I think he does have the chops. He's just not making great decisions. And granted, you would think being in an Aquaman movie, DC, any kind of comic book movie, he probably made that decision, but it was just, I don't know.
Could have been a paycheck.
Didn't hurt Jason Momoa's career, I'll tell you that.
Man, it's Jason Momoa, dog.
Yeah. Hey, he can fucking shit on a fucking paper plate and hand it to someone, and someone's gonna eat it. That's pretty much Jason Momoa right there.
Fuck yeah.
That's all I really have for this week. Do you fucking with anything?
I started. I did start X-Men '97 finally.
What are you thinking?
Fucking with it, bro. I mean, I knew it was gonna be tight. It wasn't like a conscious decision. There was other shit that I was watching, and it just didn't line up. But then I had some time when Ash was out of town and started to get my binge on. And I mean, it's crazy nostalgia. It's well written. I obviously there's more to go, so I haven't gotten to the crazy yet. But I just keep hearing that it's gonna get better, and I'm super fucking stoked for it.
Yeah, man, it really did make me just miss X-Men.
Yeah,
like the good fucking made me remember why I loved the X-Men when I was younger.
Right.
So
Made me miss a lot of
that
those
fucks.
retro cartoons, dude.
That fucks. Am I fucking with anything?
I was say, what do you have time to fuck with? You're always so fucking.
I haven't been fucking with anything. I'm behind on Dark Matter. I'm fucking,
Same.
I guess I've been fucking with Mayor of Kingstown. I'm behind one episode.
Yeah. I know I'm behind one episode too, but I did watch the first one a couple nights ago, and it jumped right back in. Nice little recap at the beginning. It was great. Are you watching that on Plex, or you got Paramount?
Plex.
Oh, nice. Okay, word.
We do
Same.
have Paramount. We do have Paramount and one TV, but we like to watch TV in our room, and in our room we don't have that account attached. I've been rocking it on the Plex.
Hey, fuck it. Same shit.
Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. I don't think I've seen any movies or anything as of yet, or as of recent.
We got
no new shows.
The Boys coming up this, today when this drops, if it drops Thursday. House of the Dragon is upcoming Sunday. That comes back as well. And there was something else that was big that was coming back in June, but I don't remember what it was. So we'll have to talk about it next week. I'll find out.
Something big coming back in June. Oh.
I don't know if it was coming back or if it was new, but I remember seeing a Twitter post with 3 pictures, like June is the month, and I can only remember The Boys and House of the Dragon. I don't remember what else it was.
There was a third one.
Was it Umbrella Academy? I feel like that was July.
No, I don't think Umbrella Academy is coming back anytime soon.
No, it is coming soon.
No, I know it's coming. 2024. Let's see when that's coming, because I don't think it's that though.
I don't know. I don't think it's that either. But that's definitely within the next couple months.
August 8th.
Okay.
Yeah.
August 8th. All right.
Yep.
I'll take it.
I don't know, but we'll revisit.
Oh, maybe
that.
it was Acolytes. Maybe and that had just started. Did you watch Acolytes? That could have been.
I did watch the first 2 episodes.
They dope.
I fuck with it. I like it.
Okay.
It's not the most compelling shit. There are some things in the story where you're like how did, like, you know what I mean? Like some very obvious, like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
But it's not as people are really like review bombing it, because Star Wars fans are the fucking worst
Haters. Yeah.
But I'm digging it. I'm liking it.
Okay.
Yeah. So far so good. It's only 2 episodes.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna give any spoilers, but yeah, check those out.
All right, no doubt. The Acolyte, Disney Plus.
Oh, that's right. And I've probably 2 episodes deep on Loot. I did.
Oh, nice. That's a funny show, right?
It's pretty funny.
That's good. Yeah, she's great on it, and Adam Scott always plays a great asshole, so that's perfect.
Yeah. You're not wrong. Yeah. All right. So you have nothing else to add?
No.
Guys, thank you so much for listening to this episode. If you made it this far, that means you fuck with us and we fuck with you. Remember to rate, review, subscribe to the podcast wherever it is that you are listening. If you are watching us, give us a thumbs up. Support us every way that you can. Comment, do all the things. Grab some merch. Go to insensitivemerch.com and stay drippy with Drippy. I promise you, we do want to start doing some more shit. We may make this show live on Tuesdays and still drop it on Thursdays. Should you want to do that? Should you want to be a part of the show, tune in and make some commentary in real time. We can add that to the show, and maybe give us a little bit more to talk about. Or to ramble about like we always do. But other than that, guys, again, thank you so much for listening. We love you. Peace.